All right. So Zack Snyder's Justice League has been out for a little over a year now. And, Ramon and I and Seth, I mean, we're all big fans. We were all looking for it. We all,
Yep.
wanted it to come out. We were all part of that hashtag thing. And, but when I did see the movie, I gave it an honest review. I didn't try to, make it better than it really was and say, oh, it's absolutely perfect. I gave it an honest review. And one of my nitpicks was a giant plot hole in the movie.
Before you do that, sorry, my apologies. With that, I'd say the only, like I've said to you many times, my only issue with the film, minus whatever you're probably going to say, I'll go, oh yeah, was that bloody theme.
Oh yeah, Wonder Woman.
That's the only thing in the movie that I don't like. Other than that, or whatever you're going to say now.
Okay, Seth, were there any plot holes that you noticed in Zack Snyder's Justice League?
No, I can see the one you're going to bring up, and honestly, I never even considered it a plot hole.
Well, I did. It was part of my review when I first reviewed it, and essentially, what the plot hole is when Darkseid, loses the anti-life equation, and then Steppenwolf finds it. Like, I was like, how the hell did they not know where it was?
Yeah, because it was that
big
point.
That big battle where you got your ass kicked. You would remember that, right?
Right.
So Ray Porter has come out and made a statement in regards of this alleged plot hole, and he says. He was talking to Fandom Wire, and he says, consider the fact that he's turned 100,000 worlds to dust. It was so long ago that he found this equation, and then it was taken from him in battle, and he always wanted to re-find it. We are talking so many thousands of years, so many planets, universes, and possible Earths. Uxus or Euxus, I can't remember which one it is. The person who became Darkseid has also changed so much in that long time span. So for someone whose knowledge spans so much, maybe the knowledge got lost in his vastness and that it was on this earth in particular. And then Steppenwolf, of all people, approaches him about this. So what Ray Porter's basically saying here is, hey, listen, he's turned thousands of worlds to dust. We don't know how many Earths he's been to. When you put that into the equation, that he may have visited like hundreds of thousands of Earths alone in different multiverses.
I still think if you consider it a plot hole, like if it bothers you as a plot hole, I think that's a crap excuse. I do.
Well,
I do. If you consider it, like, it doesn't bother me as much, but I understand where you're coming from. But it still is. These dudes are like superhuman beings. You can travel through galaxies, flick their nostrils and turn invisible with it. Like, oh right, there's a map. You just had your arm nearly chopped off and died. Just on a bit of paper, just put that there for later.
Yeah, put a pen in it.
Yeah, we'll put a pen in that. And then
we're either going to go back to this planet or stay away from this planet. But either way, that planet's right there.
it would have been a bit better if they had some more elaborate thing where, like you're saying, if there's all different Earths and multiverses or whatever crap they're doing, where they were actually taken from this spot and just pushed somewhere else, then I'd have gone, they can't figure out how to get back to how they got there in the first place. Right. But just to say, he's just thousands of years, thousands of planets, and no, just put it on a bit of pin.
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna pretend I'm not gonna pretend like this is like the greatest reasoning, for a plot hole. But it definitely, for someone like me, a huge fan of the movie, it gives me enough to be like, you know what, I'll take it. I'll take that. Seth, what are your thoughts on this plot hole fix that Ray Porter has come out with?
I mean, I never really considered it a plot hole in the first place. Like, it just makes sense to me that he just forgot it because he's been to so many planets and so many different universes. I don't think he's been to different multiverses. I think when he says multiple Earths, I think he's referring to like Earth-like planets, not just, other exact Earths. But it makes sense to me. I mean, is it kind of lazy? Sure, but it makes sense. So,
well, I think one of the bigger issues of why maybe this was overlooked by some people, like Seth, you never really considered it a plot hole, is because we actually don't know, at least people, the average moviegoer who doesn't read comic books and what have you, we actually don't know what the anti-life equation is or does. So it's really not that big of a thing. Like we're like, oh, the anti-life equation is important for some reason. Okay, like if we knew what it was and like how detrimental it could be, then I think that would have been a bigger plot hole. More people would have caught on to it. But listen, I'm glad Ray talked about it. I'm glad he kind of gave me a band-aid over that thing that I noticed, because it was one thing that always bugged me. Like, how do you not know where you got that? Like
it's fun. It's funny, with all of these superhero movies and everything else, you'd think that as such big fans of it, we would have come up with. I know that you say it's a plot hole, but I mean, like, we would have come up with something going, hang on, how did this happen? That don't make sense. But there ain't none. Not in any of those films have I sat back afterwards and gone, that's really bothered me. Like, there's something in there. There's a glaring thing that I can't get past. There hasn't been anything. It's things like that. It's like a thing like, I go, okay, cool. It's not enough to sort of throw me off the whole vibe of what's going on. Do you know what I mean? It just, there ain't nothing. It's more of annoyances, like that fucking song. I hate it.
Oh yeah, the Wonder Woman, the addition to the Wonder Woman theme song. It was good. What they should have done with that, I know we're going to go down a rabbit hole, but I was watching Zack Snyder's Justice League again because that's what I do, and I was thinking, man, what an opportunity if they just would have used that only when when they were on, like, around the rest of that Amazon women, like it was like their theme. As opposed to just Wonder Woman's. But every time she's like,
it's just literally every time she walks on screen.
That's what I'm about to say. Every time she walks on. Yeah.
Every time she walks on screen, or if there's the bit underground with the water before the water comes in with Aquaman, when they're all fighting in the tunnels and what, there's all these like. It's like every time she walks on, I'm like, all right, I get it, bro. I get it.
Yeah. It was a little bit exhausting.
That's the only bit.
All right, there you go. There you have it, everybody. There's Ray Porter's plot hole fix for Zack Snyder's Justice League.